We dress in black and we say goodbye. How our hearts break and oh, how we cry. Yet, though we grieve, we still have hope. Because for all hearts of faith, we trust and know there is a hello after goodbye.
And he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I never tried to understand a sunrise. I only know it takes away the dawn. It takes away the dawn. I can't explain your healing or all the joy I'm feeling. I only know you come into my heart. The light of a million mornings fills my heart.
For we know that if the earthly tent we live in is destroyed, we have a building from God, an eternal house in heaven, not built by human hands. Meanwhile we groan, longing to be clothed instead with our heavenly dwelling, because when we are clothed, we will not be found naked. For while we are in this tent, we groan and are burdened, because we do not wish to be unclothed, but to be clothed instead with our heavenly dwelling, so that what is mortal may be swallowed up by life. Now the one who has fashioned us for this very purpose is God, who has given us the Spirit as a deposit, guaranteeing what is to come. Therefore we are always confident and know that as long as we are at home in the body, we are away from the Lord. For we live by faith, not by sight. For we are confident, I say, and would prefer to be away from the body and at home with the Lord. So we make it our goal to please Him, whether we are at home in the body or away from it. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, so that each of us may receive what is due us for the things done while in the body, whether good or bad.
Very loving teacher, and she would be very patient with the boys and the girls there. You know how naughty we are when it's high school. But Mommy Eva would always encourage us to read some more, to study, and to discuss whenever she had some things to ask us. So I remember her. She was very, very motherly as a teacher to each one of us there in high school in Jasons. And then I remember her also as a Lola, because she would come to the programs of her grandchildren at the Learning Tree. Always motherly, always warm, always with a smile. And the last time when I went to your house, Dr. Ken, because I needed to get the hospital, what do you call that, to get into the hospital. she was the one who met me at the door and brought me in and said, wait a while. And she was always loving. That's what I remember of Mommy Eva. Thank you.
We couldn't say no because she was very encouraging. Even if, Mom, no, I cannot do it. The following day, she would tell you, I told you you can do it. She was very encouraging. She was very motivating. Almost all of us finished our masters and some doctoral degrees because of her, with her. Dean Eva was the longest running dean in Trinity. That's the reason why she was given this, in her name, this Eva Villanueva lecture series, which is done every Foundation Day of Trinity University, this coming February. And we love her so much. And Ma'am, thank you for your wisdom, for the knowledge, for the love. And I'm sorry po if some of the faculty weren't able to come here tonight and also to come to your house. And Ma'am, we love you, I love you, be missing you po.
She was a fine musician. When we were small, I was still in elementary or school or was it high school. I loved to stay and sit at the lessons also because it was not just music. They were also dear friends. They were dear friends. They shared many things, their love of their children. My mother had 3, she had 3, and they shared many, many observations. And when I did become an English teacher, I marveled at the kind of woman that she was. And so I remember her with great fondness, as I'm sure many of you here will also remember her. It was only a moment in my young life, but I remember those days and the accomplishments of women like Auntie Eva. And so I'd like to thank her for her example because it is a great solace for those of us in academe today.
My name is Asiel or Ace Garcera. I am a former UPSIM president and I was once a student elder here in CRL during the year that Tita Eva was the council chairperson. Was the buffet ministry that has become part of UPSIM's ministry. I still remember that it was during a council meeting when she shared to us her realization that there are UP students who don't eat 3 meals a day and UP students who would sometimes eat just noodles for lunch or who don't really eat balanced meals. She was shocked and she was asking the council what could CRL do for them. And I told her that I was actually one of those students. Being a struggling student at that time, food was the least of my priorities. And she was shocked and she said that that's not acceptable. She can't accept that someone in the council was part of the students that she saw struggling. So she said that beginning that time, she would provide me with the meals that I need. And true enough to her word, starting that day until the time that I graduated, I never had to worry about a single meal in my life. And being filled with gratitude, I asked her one time, I asked her, how can I repay you or you've done so much for me, how can I give back? And all she said was, no, you don't have to give back anything to me. You just have to pay it forward. She taught me the value of paying it forward. She told me, when you graduate from college and when you're able to earn on your own, then look around you for the people who also need your help and help them instead. So that's one lesson that I've learned from her and I will always carry in my life. And actually, after graduation, I went back to the province and it's only been recently that I've been back in Manila, and I have always wanted to meet up with her. And I just learned earlier that she passed away, and I was really shocked and I was sad because I don't have anymore the chance to see her here on earth. But then what comforts me and what gives me peace right now is knowing that that right now she's in heaven with Jesus, and one day I'm also going there, and we will have all the time in the world to share stories, to share how much the impact she's made in my life, and because it was only for 1 year that she has helped me, but because of that, I've always carried that lesson of paying it forward, and I know that she would be so proud of also all the other people that I'm helping now just because of what she's taught me. So that's all.
My mom, my elder sister, and Eve. She was Eve. As a young wife, she was always my teacher, my guide, my friend, without trying to. It was just the way she was. I think everything that's been said here this evening happened to me too. And she was, I think, a perfect example of not saying, not preaching, just being, just doing. A perfect example to follow. Actually, I really wished I was like her. She was calm, cool, collected all the time, always warm. She taught me how to market. She taught me my recipes. She taught me how to cook. We raised our children together. I made her godmother and Vil godfather to all my children because I figured they needed a strong Christian influence in their life, as she was in mine. I heard a lecture once, a sermon in church sometime, a few months ago, and it talked about the stones that God has put, or God gives you in your life. And these are the stones that guide you to Christ, guide you to the Lord. And she was my stone. She introduced me to, she brought me to church. She involved me in the church without, as I said, without preaching, without saying, without, she just said, come. And she was having such a nice time at going to church, so did I. And we joined a little a family group, which Millie Bernardes, I don't know if she's still here, was a member. And our children grew up in the Sunday school there because of her. It was her, it was she who did it. As I said, without meaning to, that's just the way she was. And she continued to be my friend through thick and thin, through bad, through good. Sometimes there was one time in our lives, in my family's life, it was very difficult for us, and she was my friend throughout. She stuck throughout. No matter what other people said, she was there all the time. We moved away, many years later, we moved away after our children actually had grown. I moved away, from Philam, but I continued to come and see her. We still kept the house next door. We still have the house next door. So every time I could, I came and I came to see her. I think the last time I saw her was about 3 weeks ago. And it's always nice. We always had lots to talk about. She was some person I could talk to. We were on the same level. We knew each other. We knew we had the same values. We understood. We had the same the same opinions. And she was that kind of a friend to me. When Clyde called me up, I, shocked. I just, I saw her face. But the first thing I said was, what I thought was, I'm sad. I'm sad for her family. But I knew she was ready to go. And she was a perfect person to go. She was what the book she wrote. She and the Lord walked continuously all the time, forever, every minute of the day. She was the person that he wanted every person to be. And that's why I said, oh, she's happy. She's happy with Will and with Portia, and they're there. Of course, not so happy for us, but still, I'm happy for her. It's just that when I see the photographs and I realize she's not going to be there when I go, that's hard. But yes, I'm happy for her, and she will always be one of the biggest influences in my life. I love you guys.
Lola said, sayang naman yung taon. I'll pay your tuition. Noong una po, nag-refuse pa po kasi hindi po namin sila kaano-ano. Pero hindi pa po ako kilala ni Lola. Sabi niya sa akin, pag-aaralin niya ako. Hanggang ngayon, gagraduate na po ako. Lola, laya mo eh. Ilang buwan na lang, gagraduate na ako. You will not witness my graduation march. Pero alam ko, nandun ka sa araw na yon.
Your light was everywhere.
We thank God for her life and for being a very good role model to us and to her grandchildren. So we're really going to miss you, Mommy.
She's the kind of grandmother that I want to be if I'm given the chance to be a grandmother. Because she was warm, she was loving, and every time she knew that we weren't feeling well, she would give us a warm hug.
Good evening. I'm the youngest of the sons of Mommy. I'm Ken. Indeed, as Pastor had said, Mommy was empowered by the Lord to serve all these 89 years. Even at the end of her life, she was still in service for the Lord. I believe Mommy is home. In John 16, now is our time to grieve, but I will see you again, and you will rejoice, and no one can take that joy away.
I believe that my mom deserves the ultimate tribute that a teacher should be given. And that is, well done, thou good and faithful servant.
Mom, may the road rise to meet you. May the winds be always at your back. May the sun shine upon your face. The rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Goodbye, Mom. We love you. I love you.